What's up, Wall Street?
I think we got it right.
What's up, Wall Street?
All right. I think everybody will be happy that the regular voice is back. We had some frowns on the new voice, Wolves of Wall Street action. But you can't frown about these glasses, not when they're blinking that green, and not when you see these 10 plays that we are getting ready to go over right now. All right, so day number 7. Moving on into 2017. The last thing you want to do should be the first thing that you do. Here is the post over on WordPress. Spent some time on my Fibonacci knowledge this past weekend. Golden ratio is on deck now. We're putting that into the game, so it's cool, man. We're just layering this knowledge and executing. So it's been good, and I thank God for that. All right, so let's see. Proverbs 3 and 9. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all of your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. All right, when your last thing you want to do is the first thing you ought to do. One of the greatest ways to grow your knowledge account is to recognize the feeling of not wanting to do a thing. You see, the last thing you want to do is get out of bed early in the morning and work diligently towards your goals. But when you do it anyway, you immediately will feel a burst of positive energy. The more you exercise your self-discipline in this way, the more consistent you will become. Find time to work on your goals every day, even if that means waking up at 4 in the morning. You all see my Twitter posts. I post it every morning. I am up that early. You will find that overcoming adversities will enable you to stand proud and say, I did it. Here's a sweet 16 list of things that you can do to help you along the way. There's also a journal article over on WordPress. You can click it and digs a little bit deeper into all of these. 1, arrive on time. Number 2, take a deep breath. Do that before you take a trade. Number 3, eat a proper breakfast. Number 4, don't be moody. Organize your day. Be present. Check in with your colleagues. What's up, Wolves of Wall Street teammates? Organize your workspace. Remind yourself of your core purpose. On the top of each page, every single day, I write down my journal post. And I take the time to reflect on it periodically throughout the day. Number 10, don't be distracted by your inbox. Sometimes when I'm on the grind, because I am transacting quite a few plays per day, I am not necessarily even on Twitter, on my text, on my phone, on my email, or on our chat message group because I am busy working and focusing. Number 11, listen to voicemails. 12, send out urgent emails and take care of urgent calls. 13, take advantage of your cleared mind. 14, mix things up from time to time. So sometimes I'll be done at lunch. Plan a mid-morning snack. I have them on deck. Start each day with a clean slate. That's why I prefer to be in cash overnight every single day possible. We are PTX additional entry, Gene in here overnight. But the goal is to have everything closed out by the end of this week. Sit back and relax as we go into the weekend. All right, let's get over and look at these 10 trades. Let's try to make this quick. These videos have been running a little bit on the long side. So let's get on into it. CNAT, we were in on 1-9. Shout out to my boy Reggie Chambliss. I guess we'll do CNAT since we're talking about it. Here we go. Listen, this thing went up to, I think, 540 something. It already showed resistance at the 5.5, 542, and I was stubborn. I wanted for it to break $5. It did. It went to the 480s and bounced up. I went ahead and closed out at 495. My goal was actually 4.8. I think it got to 483 as a low. So goal was pretty solid, and I'm not unhappy with the exit. We'll take it. Great play. I'm glad it worked out the way that we anticipated, and we exercised a good bit of patience on this one throughout the whole. PTX, the play that we did take pre-market today, 9:25 in the morning on the entry, $3.25 short. Perfect entry. Exit was sloppy, but it was some signals telling me to get out of the trade. So I'm not ever going to ignore the signals. There was also a signal to reshort it. I don't want to call it a bear flag because it really didn't even flag up, but if anything, it did at least give me some signals to take the short later in the afternoon. And then it did what I thought it was going to do. It did run down into the 2.8s. So we have a VWAP resistance and a solid dollar mark that we re-enter for the overnight. So I'll let you guys know about that when we close it out, hopefully on tomorrow. All right, let's see. CUR trade. This one was solid. Shout out to Timothy Sykes. Uncle Tim must have been on this play too. I see what's going on. I don't know what his entry prices were, but I was in at pretty much the same time. I think he got out in the 530s. I got on the 515. So I'm assuming we had about the same game, but I got in a little bit late. I don't like to play them right at the open. I want to see some movement. It was filled in the open. So we took it. We had a pretty good setup on it. It actually ended up breaking 5 all the way down to nearly 4.7, if I'm not mistaken. And it, just like PTX, gave an opportunity to reshort it after a bear flaggish bounce. This bounce was more pronounced as far as if you had a trend line on it. So I do like the fact that it did communicate that you can get on back in there after that drop down to 5. Right in this area here or near 11. Shout out to our president-elect. He pressed down a lot of biotechs today. Sweet. All right, next one. We got Kara. Care a lot about them. Entered this short early. So this was like a 9:30-ish entry. And it ran against me a little bit, ended up rolling over back down. I think that the Trump effect really was a good spot maybe to have to consider. So hindsight is 2020. It's the first time I've been day trading on an election day. On an election, not election. At the time, we were having a president-elect doing a speech in January before inauguration. So the overall market did act a little funky there for about an hour. It recovered and went back strong to the green side, did our overall market. So we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, we got short, very small win, but we'll take it. Could have been executed better. Mental note to self. IQ, same situation. Biotech, similar. It runs up, gives us an opportunity to short it. I think what happened with this one is, for whatever reason, I thought I had a stop, and it got me out like at 20-cent gain, and I thought we ran on down. So when I look back, it just didn't do it. So I think what I did was put a stop at 19.4 when it went to the 19.25s. And at least I anticipated I had put a stop. I must have had a limit order because they filled me. So we're already out of that trade with a very small win when I anticipated and thought that I had a 80-cent win. Ended up being basically a scratch or a 1% win. Ren's my friend. You know how we do it. We've been watching recap videos of mine. We playing $4, nothing to it. 41.70 is as high as it went. When it started coming on back down, I put a market in, order in at 41.50, walked away from the screen, put order at 40.50 to cover. It got me out at 40.54, like a boss. Pretty much nailed that one on the bottom. And there from where 40.50 was, it was bouncing. Why would I choose 40.50? Look at the chart. Right here, we were trying to get through it. We were holding the 40.50. We dropped down, and then we gap up above it. I suspect that 40.50 is going to be support. And if you look at it, jumps all the way up here to 41.75. 50% retrace that thing. That's about 50%, maybe 60% retracement. That would have been a good spot to consider to buy as well. Had I not been short on time, I might have considered buying it at 40.50. We're only risking 50 cents down to 40 if it keeps fading. And then if it goes up my dollar, then I get exactly what REN traditionally will pay us. All right, ARWR, another solid play. This one was on time. Right at the fib, right at the extreme overbought area, right at the place that you want to get short. Boom, bust them. It dropped and started curling back up. We closed them out at about 216. Nice short on that one. Very, very good. Also like to point out, as I mentioned, golden ratio. This one was golden ratio entered. So you have to do some Google searching if you want to dig deeper into what that means. 61.8%. PTCT, shout out to the group. We were live on this guy right at $16. Another solid entry. And we exercised some extreme patience here and watched it play out exactly how the thesis thought it. So out of being, I guess, more patient, was able to realize an additional 3% to the downside, because when it was near the 15.5, we had a rational set up to stay in it. Solid overextension into the Trump effect. Dollar down. We will take it. That's what's up. All right. BCEI. Solid play. They came to a fib. You can see it closes gap after that bankruptcy and whatever happened. Comes all the way back up here. It showed some resistance, so we took them short. random for 10 cents, 197, 187, respecting the chart. What I put on here, trading what we will smell instead of the P&L. Late day action, trading the chart, not my heart. Chart said get out, take the short. Chart said get out, take your profit. We exercised that, and it worked out perfectly. Shout out to the Fox. Man, I don't know where she's getting these tickers and what's up with these 100% runners, but it's all good, man. If you guys are live trading, and I think DJ Tom the Bomb knows, man, he's been looking for these tickers. He's been calling tickers since 2006, January 2016. So I'm not surprised. I don't know what's going on or where they come from. But anyway, shout out to the Fox for the 12 p.m. alert. She sent me a text message, told me to check out Myos. Like IDXG, ETRM, I missed so much bank. But green is green. We took them right at 5. And we actually ran them up to 565. I actually got a good exit. I thought I got a better exit that wasn't as good, but this one worked out very, very nice. And, of course, it ran to 7, so a whole another $1.40 to the upside. But we walk into the trade with a plan. We execute the plan. The plan was right. We are good. That'll end the recap video. We will catch you all in the morning. It'll be Thursday, Throwback Thursday. We'll find a song that's really, really old, play it, and maybe these glasses will still be blinking by then. Good luck, guys.
Where's that watch string?